Hey, good morning YouTube, Scott Dunnage Garage. How you doing today? Well, this will be a unique video. This is us getting ready for Alaska. Stay tuned. Thanks for sticking with us. What we're doing in this video is all the small projects that end up being big projects, getting ready for us to go on the Alaska excursion. First thing we're gonna do is mount some water jugs on the new teardrop. All right, the water jugs are mounted. The next thing we need to worry about is the wheels and hubs. Let's take a look at those. Now these wheels are absolutely aggressive as all you can get out. The issue is they're not DOT approved and they will not make the trip to Alaska. The other issue is the hubs. They're a standard 4-bolt hub with an adapter on it to fit the ATV wheels. I was hoping I could get just new tires to fit the rims, but I can't find them. So we're changing the hubs out to have a 5-on-4.5 bolt pattern. We're gonna put an offset spacer on it and then put some Jeep tires on them. Now here's the old hub, here's the new Amazon hub, and this came with 2 sets of bearings. 1 inch, which drop right in, and a set of 1 1/16. So just your inside diameters are different. Time to put the 5-bolt on. Yes, I know there's a lot of grease, probably too much. All right, here we are at Graham Tire in Grand Island. We are picking up the tires for the trailer. Love working with these guys. Let's take a look at this. The only real issue now is the wheel spacers don't come in for a couple more days, which means the camper's sitting in the garage and the wife can't park in there, so unhappy wife, unhappy life. All right, it's another day of getting ready for Alaska. We're running into some issues. Let's look at them. The little stomper, we have a minor issue with that. More of an inconvenience. When we got the wheels, we were told they were 5-on-4.5 bolt pattern, and they're actually 5-on-5. And the hubs are 5-on-4.5. So we had ordered spacers just to go from 5-on-4.5 to 5-on-4.5, 2 inches to take care of the back spacing. Unfortunately, they needed to also have a different back spacing for the new rims. So we're waiting on those to show up and then that will be done. And then, yeah, I've been procrastinating this project and I just struggle with it. I gotta crawl underneath the Jeep, clean up all the paint marks from the hardware for the torque settings, and then re-torque all the suspension. It's not that it's a hard project or even time consuming. It's just, for whatever reason, I don't have the motivation to do it. And I haven't been impressed with my tool storage, neither has Matt. So Matt picked me up a tool roll, so we're gonna move all the tools from what I have to the new tool roll too. So it's a good time to do both. Currently, I just have a whole bunch of little tool bags with everything in them. What I like about it is if I just need wrenches, I just grab wrenches. If I just need metric wrenches or whatever, I'm able to grab just what I need and nothing else. So we're going to convert all of this mess into a Rhino USA tool roll. So one of the things I did when I put the suspension lift in is I kept a list of what my wrenches were and my torque specs were for all my control arms and all my suspension components. So that's going to help us. And then I'm going to get a list of each of the tools we use, whether it's a wrench or a socket, and that's the stuff we're putting in here. We're not taking anything we don't need. So here we are at the front of the Jeep. You'll notice there's a couple lines on here. They've been torqued, they were marked, and then when I went back to retorque them, I noticed they were a little loose, retorqued them again, remarked them again, so now I've just got all sorts of marks everywhere. Four days later, I'm still torquing these bolts down. Almost done. I just got to do the rear control arms. Let's get these marked though. Nice thing about doing this is you're able to take a look at other components as well, like the brakes, and realize you need new brakes too. And I would say that would suck, but finding out in the driveway at home is much better than up on the highway in the middle of nowhere. So I think we'll add brakes to our to-do list. Just when I thought I was almost done. Another big part to this trip is going to be communications, and for that we turn to WeBoost. Wow, not only will I get cell phone reception, I'm going to look like an overlander. One thing I will say about this layout for WeBoost is this is the cleanest shipping I have ever seen. Brackets, hardware for the brackets. Bracket, hardware for the brackets. Everything is just set up, all your tools, everything's set up the way it should be. Unfortunately, to put the WeBoost on, you have to take off one of the brackets to the open road awning, which wouldn't be bad, just a little few extra steps. And just like that, I'm an overlander. We're down to our last couple things that we need to get done. First is rotate and balance the tires, pack, edit this video, and then work my last shift. After that, it's time to head down the road, or up the road since we're going north. However, we have some adventures planned that we're not expecting. The first is, Dead Horse has just gotten 2 inches of snow, and we weren't expecting that. So this is definitely going to be an adventure. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Have yourself a blessed day, and we'll see you on the road.